Well, good morning and welcome to this week's episode of Monday Motivation. And today is all about owning your ability to be motivated. So what on earth does that mean? Have you ever gone through, tried to put a goal into place? Some of you call it your plan A. Maybe you've been looking to achieve something over a period of time or even quite quickly. Well, when I work with people close up and personal, I often get the ability to spend time to work with them through 5 very specific steps. And today I'm actually going to share with you the 4th step. So once you've got crystal clear on the goal that you're trying to achieve, and then once you've got very specific about what you want and what you don't want, and then you've gone on to actually plug it into real life, real time. This step coming up is one of the steps that most people, if they're going to trip up on any of the steps of goal setting or putting something in place or getting something done, this is where they're going to trip up. So today I thought I would share with you this tip so that you can take it into your own life to motivate not just your Monday, your morning and your week. So if you're watching, do jump on and say hello, and I will gladly respond back. That said, I know that Facebook is telling me that there are a few people watching, but at the moment I can't see any comments. And I know there's a delay, so I can see them. So Faye's first off to say good morning. So I'm waving at you, Faye. Good morning, Faye, who I know is in the UK. We have the lovely France Lise. Good morning, France Lise. So Faye and France Lise are regular joiners to these and regular vibers. But I also know that sometimes when these are shared by your friends, you see these and you think, who on earth is this Queen of Being Seen woman, Jenny Kovacs? So let me just give you like a 60-second synopsis of what Monday Motivation is and why I feel it's so important to put this work out here in the world. So Monday Motivation actually started way back in 2008 while I was still an employee at a senior management level in financial services. And I noticed that Monday mornings got a really bad rap. You know, I don't like Mondays. Oh, it's that time of week again and all that kind of stuff. So I was looking to do something just within my business as usual that would kind of spruce my colleagues up. I started to send motivational messages, and before long, these got sent around the office and shared. So when I started my business in 2010, I wanted to convey that and keep that momentum. But it was just 3 years ago that I decided that a motivational message or meme can be found in so many places. Would it not be more helpful to actually give a bit of an explanation and share some tips on what's behind it so that you can implement it, take it into your everyday business, everyday life, everyday situation, and it will help you navigate the highs and the lows of life. So here, Monday Motivation was born. With that being said, I know that sometimes people are struggling, not just on a Monday, not just in the morning, and by you sharing these lives to your normal Facebook page, to your profile, so that your friends and family and work colleagues can see them, or even sending it on as a private message is really helpful. How do I know that? Because people send me messages all the time. Some people I know and some people I don't know from Adam that will say, thank you so much for sharing what you shared on a Monday Motivation. It's helped me to navigate this situation. One lady in Australia, and I'm based in London, said, what you shared, one of the tips you shared helped me map out my whole year. So this is why I do this for you more than for me. So with that said, today's motivation, as I say, step 4 of a 5-step process that I take people through. And the reason why I love this step so much is because it really builds momentum of getting things done, but also putting you in the right headspace for doing the thing that you want to do, which can vary at all sorts of given times. So first things first, if you're watching this, even if you're watching this and getting the kids ready or getting breakfast ready or getting ready for work or on the train platform, just give us a thumbs up or a love heart if you have got something that you can think of right here, right now that you could possibly apply this to, even though you don't actually know what I'm going to say. Think of it in terms of like goal setting, or just something that you want to get done, something you want to tick off your to-do list, or even something that you would like to achieve. It could be a long-term goal, it could be a short-term goal, but if that's you, even if you're watching this back on the replay, just give me a love heart emoji, or a thumbs up if you would prefer. And I'm going to take a quick sip of my drink. So, here's the place to start. Morning, Alan, morning. Here's the place to start. First thing, I'm going to start with some reasons why. I see, thank you for the love hearts, thank you. The first thing I'm going to start off with is just a couple of reasons why sometimes when we're trying to achieve a goal, it seems like we're pushing water uphill. And I'll demonstrate these by things that you might perhaps want to stop doing. So the first thing is that we have a lot of ambitions, a lot of goals, a lot of desires, a lot of dreams. And quite often, unwittingly, when clients come to me, they feel stuck. And the reason they feel stuck is because they're trying to combine one or more goals at the same time. It's a bit like driving two cars or riding two bicycles. It's, it possibly can be doable. It'll take a bit of effort, but it will cause a lot of friction, a lot of pushing and pulling. So the first thing that I would advise you to do is, if when I asked that question about a minute ago, a couple of things came to mind, that's fine. I would advise that you write them down somewhere. Have a goal book where you write them down somewhere, and then you can go back and work through them one by one. Okay? So when you are focused on achieving a goal or getting something done, don't drive two cars at the same time. Here's typically how I hear this with a lot of my business clients. So a lot of my business clients will say, I want to earn X amount of money a month or a quarter or a year, and I want to sell my products and services, and I want to grow my business. Well, that's actually 3 goals in one. Okay, all doable, all achievable, but there are 3 goals in one. So when you state 3 like that, that's what happens. Recently, a non-business client of mine who I work with personally as a life coach had said that they wanted to have a placement somewhere. So they needed a placement to go off and do something with a specific company. But instead of focusing on that one specific company, their goal had been, I'm going to go to this company and this one and this one and this one just in case, and I'm going to go and get this job doing this thing in the meantime, and I'm really focusing on what's going to happen in a year's time. So all of those 3, and there were more in there, but all of those 3 clustered together makes it really, really hard, and is actually what takes our focus away. So stop doing that. If you're doing that, write down everything that you want to achieve. Like I say, have a goal book. It could just be a tiny book. I've got a goal book that's out of shot. It's a little tiny book. I can put it in my pocket. I can have it in my bag. I can add to it when things come up. Okay. Second thing to stop doing that really helps this process is to stop going for other people's goals and other people's dreams. Quite often, especially when we are struggling to do something, is we have a conflict between what we actually want and what somebody else who, well-meaning wants for us. It could be a parent, it could be a sibling, it could be a friend, it could be our kids, it could be a spouse, it could be a partner. But quite often, the biggest way that we can frustrate ourselves and demotivate ourselves when we're going for a goal is by allowing, if, like, for example, this isn't true, but if, say, for example, my parents had always wanted me to grow up to be a doctor, and I want to be a florist, but I'm like, you know what, I'm going to be that florist who's also a doctor as well. I'm now putting a goal in place that I partly want and then I partly don't want, or somebody, has kind of like got an expectation for me. Sorry, I'm getting messages already from people. So if you've got that going on, that will definitely cloud things. So make sure that the thing that you want is for you and that it's clean. Conversely, and this is why I like to work with people close up and personal, every now and then I get someone who's got a goal, they really want to achieve it, they 100% want it, but somebody very close to them doesn't want it, doesn't agree with it, and that affects them. So I've had a few clients that have done that, and I've actually had that myself as well, where there's something I really want to achieve, and maybe I've shared it with somebody in good faith and they've gone, oh, I don't know about that. I don't think that's possible, because what that does is it actually reflects something that's like some element of doubt that's going on within us already. So because it's already within us and it's already causing us a bit of an element of doubt. Sorry, I'm getting messages across my screen. I've got a client who's in Australia as well, so all sorts of things popping up at different time zones. So sometimes when somebody else voices that concern, it's a concern that we've already had, and that can actually add to the an element of doubt and kind of make us veer on the side of, oh no, I don't think I can do this, I don't think I should do this. Sometimes it's really obvious and conscious, and sometimes it isn't conscious, and Frances is saying 100% agree. I've come across it a lot of times and I've done it myself. So that's another thing to stop doing. And then the next thing that I would say to stop doing is stop being so vague. And that sounds a bit harsh. However, think about this. Think about the goal that you've maybe, or goals that you're thinking about, and pick out one just to work through even on this video. And you can always go back and rewatch it again with the others if you want to. But as you go through, I've had people say to me, oh, I'm going to do this someday. I even said it myself on one of these lives. I remember saying, oh yeah, I'd like to run the London Marathon one day. That's not very specific. And if you don't have a specific time to put something down and get something across the line, it makes it hard to achieve, because somewhere in our brain we're saying, yeah, next year, and then it's 2017. Oh, well, no, next year. Then it's 2018. And then, no, next year, no, 2019. And it's like the carrot, the donkey and the carrot, and we're, continually chasing this thing that's in front of us. So this is a really, really important thing. So if you can have a look at where you might be doing those in the goals that you're trying to achieve, then you can have a look at stopping doing those things, cleaning those up, which will make this next step really effective. Frances is saying, same as when you follow many coaches and use everyone's strategies or goals instead of yours. Absolutely. Because, Frances, what that does is it can split our focus in exactly the same way. If we're not busy trying to split it ourselves, or having someone else split it for us can do the same thing. I absolutely agree. And it's quite funny because I over 2013 to about 2017, I ran a series of 6-month group coaching programs, which people think sound really strange. They think, if I'm going to go for a group program, that means I'll have to share my innermost, darkest, deepest secrets with a group of other strangers. And it's not like that at all. In fact, it's the opposite. When you're in that community, you have, and it could just be a small handful of people, could be a small community, or it could be a large community of people. When you're in that community, you actually have people that you can bounce your, not even ideas from, but when you struggle with something, they're there to lift you up, they're there to support you. Sometimes their question becomes your answer, or your answer becomes their question, and it's a really great way to grow. However, one of the things that I used to stipulate in the welcome packet at the beginning of that work, and actually, Frances, that comment seems so obvious. It's not something that I stipulate on one-to-one work. I don't even know why I don't, but perhaps I should make sure that's included. But what happens is, I'll say to people, whilst you're going through this next phase of time, declutter. It's just a decluttering exercise. I know that you might enjoy getting certain information from certain different places, but in order to keep your focus, get rid of at least 80 to 90% of that. It'll help you focus. You can always go back and resubscribe or follow, or take note of once you've gone through this piece. But I do it not because I have any beef about people following other people as well as me, but I want you as the person to have the focus, the clarity that you need without any additional distraction. You know, for one of my clients recently, and he works in the IT space, one of his distractions was that he had lots of news alerts from like BBC and different newspapers on his phone. So every few seconds, things that would distract him would be these notifications. Well, of course, when you're, heading up, very senior in a department, and you're getting all of these distractions on your phone, you often need to look at them to see what they're about. What if, the business is burning down, literally? And what was happening was these alerts were causing him to keep having a look at his phone every 5 minutes. And I said, well, if you know you like these news channels, why don't you pick a time of day that works for you, where you go and have a look at what's happening? If something is a national or international emergency, you'll get to know about it quite quickly. So that was just one way in which they were able to stop their distractions. So here's what to do when you've looked at those areas, because it makes step 4 a lot easier. So I'm really thirsty today. You can hear it in my voice. I'm taking another big sip of my drink, which I made quite a while ago. It's now cold, but that's okay. Okay, so here's what you need to do. Whatever gave you that idea for that goal, that intention, or that plan would have come from a place of like pure juiciness. It would have been excitement, could have been anticipation. But whatever caused you to have that goal, or those goals, if you work through them individually, whatever caused you to have that goal would have given you like a really nice, warm, fuzzy feeling inside. You know, I want to get a promotion. I want to get a pay rise. I want more people to know about my work. I want to be able to help more people. I want to stand out and raise my profile so that more people know about the work I do, or who I am, or about my book, about my program. I want to get myself out there so that I can affect more people in the world. Some of you have plans and goals like, I want to touch the lives of X amount of people. You know, I heard somebody say recently they want to make sure that they help 1 million people, and they had the specificity in there by 2026, I think it was. Working with them in a group capacity or a one-to-one capacity. Whatever that goal and dream is would start from a place of pure excitement, pure desire, pure juiciness. And the reason that I say that is I want to reconnect you to that goal, because sometimes along the path, especially if we haven't done the 3 things I've said before that to really clean that up, then what happens is we kind of lose our desire. We get into the grunt work of it, and sometimes then we veer off path. We might lose the focus, we might lose our way a bit, and it can cause us to be in it. And what do I mean by be in it? When we're in it, then like the work of it seems hard, or if we're in it and slightly off path, it feels like literally we're pushing water uphill. We feel the struggle. So reconnecting with the goal and the purpose, our own purpose that we love, which by the way hasn't got to make any sense to anybody else. Your dream, your goal, your desire, your choice, okay? When we are feeling that juiciness, that yumminess, that excitedness, that is the place in which to sit and think, okay, how will I know when I've done it? And this is where you get to visualize or daydream or start to go into the imagination, but not from a place of, in 5 years' time, this is going to happen and this is how I'm going to feel. But I want you to imagine that you're in the 5 years and 1 day time, which is why you need to be specific. So it's like the day after the thing has been done, the week after the thing has been done, you not only did it, you aced it. You absolutely smashed it. And now you're looking around you and your life might physically look different. Maybe you've got more time to spend with your kids. Maybe you're spending time with friends and family in a different location, a location that you prefer, your favourite restaurant, could be your favourite park, holiday destination. It could be that you see things very differently. Maybe you're looking to move to a different house or a different place. Also, then from that place, it could be the things that you hear. It could be the things that you hear. Like, And this is, there's two elements of this. So if you're now driving your dream car, it could be the purr of the engine, you know, quite literally. But here's another thing. Have you ever noticed that if you're in a place of struggle, that there's a lot of little internal voices telling you a lot of stuff that's quite unhelpful? Yet when you are, when you've done the thing, achieved the thing, that little voice sounds very different. It literally sounds very different. And it could sound more like, oh my gosh, I actually did it, all excited. It could sound like, oh my gosh, you know, they're never going to believe it when I tell them that. But you will have an internal voice. So when you catapult yourself past the day and the date of when you did the thing and start to look from that juicy, yummy place, you'll hear things around, you know, either from yourself or from other people. It could be the doubting Thomas in your life that went, oh my gosh, I didn't actually think you were going to do it, but you've done it. Well done. Oh my gosh, you know. And then the other thing, of course, is how you feel about it. How you feel about it. France-Lise has nailed it there because she said feeling from the gut, literally. So that would be her feeling for her thing. Your feeling for your thing will be or could be completely different, and it will differ. So like if you've got 6 goals and you go through this process on each goal, it will differ for each goal, ever so slightly. So it's how you feel. A feeling of maybe elation, a feeling of I did it, a feeling of I can switch off now and relax, a feeling of I can show this to my family and friends, a feeling of I can actually make a difference and that makes me feel so great. This step on step 4 is all about you really diving into how it feels, what it could look like for you or sound like for you, how it could be in your life, the difference it could make. And when you start from that place, it will make the clarity of the steps that come before it so much more clearer, so much more tangible, so much more juicy. So Faye has put a comment on there, which I need to go back and read. It says, I've learned that sometimes the best way forward is to tell others what you're doing after it's completed. Absolutely. And this is the thing, we always have the choice. And this is kind of like almost like the ugly truth. Sometimes our way of taking ourselves out of the game is by telling the very person out of a sense of duty who won't support us, who won't get it, and they won't get it because it's your dream or your desire. Why should somebody else understand what your dream and your desire is, especially when it comes from the heart? So absolutely spot on. France-Lise is adding, which is why it's important to be connected with yourself so that you can see, recognise and accept those moments and feelings. Absolutely. And, you know, when I, you know, and this is why I keep saying when I get to work with people more closely, it's a very different experience, me giving you these nuggets to share, which, you know, look all over social media. People will tell you, oh my gosh, that was so helpful. Thank you so much. It really helped. You know, and things like that. When we get to work together more closely, we can actually put together these practices to make it happen. We can get to put together the practices to help you do this on a daily basis, which feels natural, even if you've got the busy job, which a lot of my clients do, even if you've got a lot of responsibility, even if you're the person at the top in command that everyone looks to for the answers, even if you have got kids and you just don't know how you can squeeze another minute into the day. It's not about squeezing anything more in. It's about working with what you've got from where you are. So I hope that this has been helpful for you this morning. I would love to know what kind of things you've been sharing. For those of you that are in the Visibility Vibes tribe, there is a post that will go out, a Monday motivation post. Feel free to either put something in the comments below on this subject specifically, and if you've got friends within there, encourage them to come back and watch this video. If you've got friends that are outside the group, they won't see your comments in the Vibes tribe, which is why I recommend that you continue the conversation there. Post, declare, take one of your goals, take the goal that you want to work on right now, and pick another one for later, but take the one you want to work on right now and declare your goal in there. Now, if you don't want to share it just yet, just share, I have a goal, I'm working on it, and this is the reason why I'm so excited about it, as if it happened last year. And by declaring that and getting into that great feeling, not only will you declare it, but you will also have the support of other people around you who actually think, go for it. Not, oh, I don't know about that, I think you should change it, but in the go for it camp too. So, one more favour. If you could share this video either on your timeline or in a private message, you never know who might need to read it. And when you share it, just put a couple of words as to why, rather than just sharing the video, which makes people think, oh, what's this about? I get so many messages from people, be it clients and friends and family, and they've just shared something. And in order to manage my time effectively, I'm like, what am I looking for? Why have you shared this? So say, this has motivated me, this has inspired me, or whatever the thing is for you, and share it so that other people can start to achieve and get it too. So thank you so much for that. And for those of you that are looking for your kind of like your next step to move forward, I do have some sessions where you can get to speak to me if you know that you need something but are not sure what you need next. And you might need a group like the Vibes Tribe, just somewhere, a safe space where you can share these things. Then send me a message to this page and we will book a time to speak. I will ask you some questions before, because sometimes you don't need to speak to me. Sometimes there's a next step before that conversation. So send me a message to the box above and I will send that to you. And been getting a lot of requests recently for people that really want to get onto Facebook Lives. They want to be able to show up naturally. They want to be more confident. If you have not gone through the 12 Days to Video Conference Confidence Program, or Confidence on Camera as I nickname it for short, then you will see in the Vibes Tribe that I made an offer that expires tomorrow. A really great offer to join in. If you want a bit more support or help, again, send me a message to this page and I will let you know how you can do that, and how you can do that for quite a juicy price. If you're already part of the BCN Academy, you've got access to it. So go on, dive in and get yourself out there. Thank you so much for watching. France Lee says, thank you, Jenny, that was really useful. I'm so grateful to you, France Lee. Thank you for taking on the nuggets and going forward and doing it. Do share this with your friends and your family, anyone who's watching this. And if you're watching this on the replay, play along, put in the comments. I'd still like to know how you're taking this juiciness in. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again very soon, either on this page or in the Vibes Tribe, or over on LinkedIn for some of you who are following me there. Bye for now.